Your turn, Yogi boy.
What is up, guys? This is AlintheaYoh. Today I am coming at you with a discussion and more of a debrief at the most recent set release that was the Infinite Forbidden, and how Konami handled the, let's say, press releases, how they handled the influencer releases. Just my kind of thoughts and feelings on how it should have been a lot better, because let's face it, it was pretty disastrous. So a few weeks before the release, we got kind of the bombshell that Moon was essentially either going to be a comment or a super in the North American release by Billy Brake and such. And that was very cool. It's great to see those types of things. The whole point of, the advertisement is to drum up excitement for the set. Is to help sell the sets for the vendors and for the stores, and to be able to just in general drive some excitement, drive the sales, and just let everyone know basically what's happening. I've been a massive advocate years and years going back for getting the community involved in such releases and such announcements. And over the years, more recent years, when I've been away, it's been great to see that Konami have been reaching out. I've been very supportive of that and very open about it. The fact that, they do bring in those content creators that they trust, not just anyone. They actually get them involved, send them either the product or show them the archetype that's being released, and obviously with that come the rarities. The rarities is a big thing because obviously that dictates how expensive something might be on the secondary market to pick up, how difficult it might be if you're buying boxes or product, and just in general how something or how the product in essence is pushed. This time around, I think, was probably one of the more poorly handled releases from a content creation point of view and an influencer point of view, simply because they left it too late. Now, it wasn't to do with them sending out the product to those people too late, because they send it at least a couple of weeks prior to it. One of the people who was actually involved in it said, and I quote, when someone asked how long did they pretend to not know about Moon, probably a lot longer than you think, which implies it's a good number of weeks that they will have had access to that information. Now, obviously, Konami make you sign NDAs and make sure that you don't actually release anything, because then they'll sue you, so on and so forth, take legal action. Very standard. I've had to do that before back in the day when I was working with them. It's all very normal stuff. So they are covered by the law and backed by those types of policies. The problem that I had is that for some reason, someone decided it was a good idea to have the week of release videos the same week that products go out to the stores. Now, for people who aren't aware, let's say the sneak peek weekend, which is either the Thursday, Friday or Saturday, because some products are officially released on the Thursday. But if we just take all that out of the equation for a second, Friday and Saturday are your sneak peek days. Excellent, right? The products are sent and delivered to vendors on the Tuesday and the Wednesday prior to that date. So that week is when products will go out to those stores. And not everyone is a good apple. Not everyone abides by what Konami want you to do, and they will open that product. And that's exactly what happened. And that's exactly what has happened previously as well. If we ignore the factory incidents, because they're a little bit harder to deal with and you can't really plan that as much. But if you take what happens, people open the cases and spoil all of the archetypes. All the new archetypes, the TCG archetype, the Mimighoul one, that was a complete and utter disaster, because it was billed as this very cool looking deck and it was something new we hadn't seen before. Another one of the TCG exclusives, and it all got spoilt by someone opening up the cards on stream or in a video, and then multiple other people doing it and then just chucking it up online. People read it and went, oh, okay. And that was it. And then someone went and had to release their influencer video, officially sponsored from Konami, to explain what everything does to a market who already know what they do. Honestly, it's one of the most depressing things to see, because I've been there. You, as an influencer, are really excited at the fact that you've got this product, you've got this information. Could be the thing that makes your channel like really get that big boost of of traffic to your channel, and it becomes an irrelevant video. Because let's face it, why would anyone who wants to find out about the Mimighoul archetype watch a video about it when they already, that's introducing and explaining the card effects, not necessarily actually saying how they might work or anything like that, but just showing and showcasing them? Yeah, we've already seen that. We've seen that by some Joe blogs who posted it with some really blurry pictures on Zodiac Duelist or on Twitter or something like that. It really, honestly, like, makes me a little bit, or quite a bit actually, quite a bit depressed for those individuals, because I know how much hard work goes into videos like that, because you want to impress Konami, but then also you want, so you can get more videos like that and more opportunities, but you want to impress the audience, and that excitement doesn't translate through to your audience because no one's that excited about it anymore. Obviously there will be some people who are, and the video will, hopefully is still received well, but your viewership is down. How do you fix this? It's so simple, and I don't understand what happened with this one, because they've done it before. Why was the schedule for release the week of everything being shipped? Should be the previous week. And honestly, I feel like there should be earlier videos coming out to increase hype instead of just the week before. Because at that point, yeah, sure, stores will have already made their orders, but they might have under-ordered for the case, or their allocation might be lower than they initially thought. So the whole point is you should drum up excitement for that set. And what, honestly, in my opinion, what is going to negatively happen if we knew that Fiendsmith Engraver was going to be a secret a month before? What information does that give us that's negative for Konami? Because personally, I can't see it. All I can see is how it will be positive. Stores go, yeah, that cards that everyone needs is a secret rare. So we should probably order some more cases for our community and for our locals so that people can buy into that stock. Because currently, people are struggling to get boxes. Right now, people are struggling to get boxes because of the lack of availability. And that might be to do with just the fact that they haven't printed enough or there's been hoarding. But it gives people that opportunity to then go to their store and go, I would like to reserve a box, 2 boxes, 3, a case. Please, can you make sure that I can do that? It gives people that opportunity to get access to those cards instead of having to turn to the secondary market that Konami refused to accept or acknowledge. Let's face it, let's take Trident Dragon for example, when they say maybe you should ask a friend if you've got a Trident Dragon that's like a minimum 50, 60, 70, £100 card because they haven't printed it in ages. Obviously they're going to print it in the Bonanza thing that's coming out, but that's too late. There's been months and months of people not being able to have access to that card because you've paywall locked it behind the secondary market because you refused to print it. Konami have come a long way in regards to how they handle the press releases of these sets. I think it's a great thing that they have more people involved. I feel that they should allow more people into that inner circle. It doesn't have to be anything to do with sending them the product and giving them this incredible thing. It can be a lot more than that. They can get people involved, they can do bigger sets or bigger releases in the fact they could get a couple of people together. They could even organize online discussions about the cards, almost like podcasts. Things like that would be really cool to see, in my opinion. Not just, here's my product, there you go. You want to get people excited about it, you want to get them talking about it, because I actually think it's a real shame. The way that the Fiendsmith engine, or the grip that the Fiendsmith engine has put on this set, has taken away from some of the more interesting kind of archetypes in there. Mimighoul is not really doing much currently, but I think it has the potential. But Whitewoods and the Exodia Millennium stuff is some of the more interesting archetypes that I've seen in quite a while, to the point I have both. I went out and got max rarity of both the Whitewoods and the Millenniums because, well, Millennium is just such an interesting and fun concept, and the Whitewoods I think has the potential to be a really high ceiling, and I just really like the cards anyway, so eventually I'll do some profiles and discussions on them. I'll be honest, the Whitewood stuff I really need to get my head around and properly understand, but that's another video for another time. But I think the fact that there's still this hanging doom of the fact that the Fiendsmiths are still a really expensive engine, I feel like if they're going to do that, fine. but they need to understand the impact that the secondary market values will have to their set. And that's not just the, I'm just selling it, I don't really care, is what it is. They need to understand that that will detract from other things in your set as well. So if you lessen the blow further down the line, right, it means that it's not such a shock when it comes out, and it means that it won't be as much as a talking point, and then it means that you can actually push a lot more of the interesting things in that set and make it a bit more balanced in regards to how people discuss it, because the only thing people are really saying about the Infinite Forbidden is how expensive my meta engine is that I need to get. I don't want to touch it anymore. I think Konami have a lot to do. They've come a long way, don't get me wrong, credit where credit's due, they've done some cool things, but it's this thing of just coasting. They found the formula that they think works for them, and that's it. It's very difficult to give Konami criticism, especially when you're on the inner circle, because they don't like it. I'll be honest, they really don't like it. I think it's such a shame, because that's how you improve business, that's how you improve yourselves, your models. You need to listen to constructive criticism. Now, I'm not saying that the unwanted criticism should be there, or just the blabbering of this secret rare, you're making it too expensive, blah, 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 blah. Fine, that's all feedback, but that's just the way that they do things. That's the format that they found works for them. They do need to listen to those, but we're just talking about the media format here. They've coasted for quite a while. I can't really think of anything interesting that they've actually done that I've gone, huh, that is really cool. They need to be a bit more creative. They need to listen to the very creative people in the community that they already have lines of communication with. Like, there are so many good content creators that they have access to that they don't really use. It's a one-way conversation, it feels. And there might be things that happen behind the scenes that you don't really see. Like, I'm sure that does happen, but to me, it doesn't translate to anything. Like, it's the same videos over and over and over and over again. They really need to look at the format of how they release things. They really need to look at how they interact with people better and how they hold those feedback sessions with people, because if they don't do that, like a debrief, it's insane. Then there has to be, behind the scenes, a massive debrief as to what happened with Infinite Forbidden, because I think it's probably one of the worst handled releases I have seen by Konami, simply because they released it too late, or scheduled it too late to be released. And it ruined those videos for the people because, you know, it was just a joke. Like, it was a common phrase that was thrown around. It was a joke. No one wanted to watch the videos of the influencers who put their big time and effort into. And that's probably one of the more biggest and depressive things. So I want to know what you guys think. What would you like to see from Konami as to how they release products or announce them? Specifically like cards or archetypes that are in there. Do you like the idea of them doing like a podcast thing with influencers, getting them together? And it doesn't have to be you fly them out and all this stuff. Everyone of the good I say good influencers, but all of the respectful influencers or respected influencers have good internet, good camera quality. So you can do that remotely, and that doesn't take that much organizing. You don't have to fly them out and say it's expensive to do this. It's a couple of hours of work. That's it. So I think they really need to look into that. But do you think it's a good idea or not? And what things from, you know, Infinite Forbidden are you actually excited about? Or do you just think it's been kind of a bit ruined for you? So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I should catch you guys later.